People work out for different reasons, be it your health, weight, mind, stamina, or looks. It doesn't matter. And I do it for all of the above, but if I had to pick one reason above any, it'd be for the mind because, well, if I don't work out, I become a little bitch. And when it comes to working out, bar none, high intensity interval training or HIIT is single-handedly the best kind of workout for your sanity. But what is high intensity interval training and why and how is it the best exercise for your mind? Let's find out and let's start revving that engine. As a divorce coach, I'm often faced with the unfortunate act of telling people what they need to hear rather than what they want to hear. And this next segment is going to be no different. There's two types of HIITs. The first one, it's done by doing resistance training. And that's a badass way of doing it as you grow into that beautiful Adonis body. But the one that's more effective in mental clarity and is the one that us gym bros that we don't like, and that's through cardio. And for the remainder of this video, I'll be addressing HIIT in such a fashion. Through cardio. HIIT, it's exactly what it says. You're exercising your body at an intense high level of exertion, and by definition, it's reaching a pulse at above 90% of your maximum heart rate, which is unsustainable for a long period of time. But how do you do this? Well, in the past, I would sprint on a treadmill till I just couldn't continue and put my feet to the sides to rest. I'd catch my breath, and when ready, I'd repeat the process at an incline. Now I just use a soccer ball in a long field, a park. I'd kick the soccer ball, run, kick it, run, kick it until I reach the other side of the park, which is roughly a tenth of a mile. On treadmill, because I'm doing constant incline, I do 10 to 13 minutes, and that's it. But out in the field, I do more like a mile and a half to 2 miles, and no more. Takes about 23 minutes total. So you can't say that you don't have the time. It's quick and it's done quickly. The idea here is to get your heart rate above 90% of maximum. And this is how you calculate it. You get that number 220 minus your age. That gives you your maximum heart rate at 100%. And then you multiply that by 0.9 as in 90%, right? So you take, for instance, a 38-year-old male, which is the average of a divorced male. You take 220 minus 38, and it's going to give you 182. And that's going to be their maximum heart rate at 100%. Then you multiply it by 0.9, which is 164. When you hit 164 beats per minute, that's when you start HIIT status. So again, once you get your heart rate that elevated, you maintain it at that pace until you can't do anymore. Then you stop, you catch your breath, and when ready, you do another interval. Hence the name high intensity interval training. It's intense as shit, it sucks, it's hard, but it's exhilarating. But how does kicking your ass make you feel better? The first way is by reducing your stress. It reduces your stress level because let's face it, when you're brokenhearted, saying that you're stressed, it's not only an understatement, it's damn near insulting because, well, it literally feels like you're going to die. And many of us wish we would just go off and die. So how does this doing HIIT when you have zero to no energy, how does it make you feel better? In fact, you have such little energy. You're not eating, you're not sleeping, you're losing weight. And yet, I'm saying to increase your energy expenditure and exercise, and worse, I'm saying to do it with the most intense cardiac exercise that you can, which is quite the ask and quite the accomplishment when you're sucking gas. But with HIIT, you're releasing endorphins, and endorphins, well, they're your natural feel-good hormones because, well, you know when you do something good or bad and it just naturally feels better? That's your endorphins kicking in right there. The mind or the brain, whatever you want to call it, it's a funny thing because there are pain receptors that they go to a different part of the brain and it interprets the pain. For instance, some pain, like the migraine, it comes with agony, and that's because the nerves, they connect with a part of the brain called the anterior cingulate gyrus. Then, believe it or not, there is such thing as pleasurable pain, and like getting a deep tissue massage or delayed onset muscle soreness or DOMS. Those nerves, they go to the prefrontal cortex, thereby interpreting the pain as a feel-good pain. When you do HIIT, guess where the pain receptors end? That's your endorphins at work. That's you eating an M&M, endorphins. That's you having sex, a crap load of endorphins. A job promotion, you get the idea. But as mentioned, your body, it also releases them when you're feeling pain or when stressed, and HIIT, it'll do that to you. So you'll go from, oh man, I'm not feeling it today, to, holy shit, Batman, this is refreshing. Second, when you're stressed, you're stressed for a reason. Your cortisol level, it's elevated. And when going through a divorce, this elevation, it can last for months and to a few years. Chronic cortisol elevation, it leads to a crap load of drawbacks. First, you get further stressed. Then you get exhausted. Then you just can't focus. Or actually you're uber focused, but on one thing, her, leading you to further problems. Your blood pressure goes up. You start forgetting things. You break down muscle. You increase an enzyme called aromatase, leading to increased conversion of estrogen. And where's that estrogen coming from? From the testosterone, therefore decreasing your beautiful, beautiful hormone produced by your balls, leaving you castrated and uber sensitive and anxious, leading to further cortisol production. It's all a vicious cycle. What happens with HIIT is you get a controlled surge in cortisol, followed by a rebound effect where it gets decreased for up to 24 hours. You skip a day if you want, then you do it all over again, leading to further decrease of cortisol than the first time. Then again, then again, then again. Next, by doing HIIT, you're increasing your cognitive function. So gone are the days of the stereotypical ogre jock, but the athletes of today, they're more than just brawn. They're also brain. See, as you increase your pulse and your respiration, all that blood flow, it goes to the muscle, and yes, it also goes to the brain, giving you increased oxygen, giving you more nutrients to your thinking center. There's no rebound effect here. It was HIIT. You maintain the blood flow in the brain, and it's a phenomenon known as post-exercise hypoperfusion. And that's why, in what's become the fastest men's divorce support group on Facebook, I'm regularly posting videos while I'm out at the field outside working out, because that's when I feel the most clear-headed. It's not vanity, it's focus, deep focus. I don't even need a teleprompter or do retakes like I do here in my studio. By improving blood flow to the brain, you also increase protein called brain-derived neurotropic factors, BDNF for short. Think of BDNF as fertilizer for the brain. It allows the brain cells to grow more rich and to increase connections within itself, within the neurons, and making you think smarter, more logical. Dare I say, you're becoming your own version of your renaissance. BDNF leads to changes in the brain that if maintained, are long-term, it increases neuroplasticity, and neuroplasticity is the brain remodeling itself for the better. It will significantly boost your self-confidence and your self-esteem because you start believing in yourself. The effect, it's immediate. And when I say it's immediate, I mean like within 5 minutes from the start. But in time you'll see improvements in your physical capabilities, your endurance, and let's face it, you cut the gut. These achievements, they're going to translate into something much bigger, a sense of accomplishment, leading to increased self-belief and confidence. You're going to gain a positive shift in self-perception, which contributes to improved mental health. You'll foster a more resilient and positive mindset. So rather than that vicious cortisol cycle I mentioned earlier, you get a badass mind improvement cycle. So how do I do HIIT? I do it 3 or 4 times a week, and in the past, I used to do it on a treadmill, but today I typically do it outdoors in the park. I'll start the workout with a mile of HIIT, then I'll do resistance bands and begin my resistance training. And in between the sets, I'll do a 1 HIIT interval. It ends up being about 1.5 miles to 2 miles, and typically dedicating and putting everything together, it's about just over an hour's worth of workout. You can do the same at the gym. At the gym, I would use a treadmill only at the beginning and at the workout and do jump roping in between sets. It ends up being about 1,000 to 1,200 jumps in total, and yes, I do count it, 200 at a time. Guys, what I'm about to say next, it comes from the heart. This video, you can take it as entertainment and knowledge video, and that's nice to hear, but my goal here is to give you results. But that takes you to start. If I was a driver's manual, you'd be the driver here. Seriously, it takes 20 minutes. It's a 20-minute workout at most. Figuring that it takes 10 minutes to change, 10 minutes to drive to the nearest park. You can be done and back home within an hour, feeling a fuckload better than you are right now at this moment. So weather permitting, and if you got an extra hour open, which I have a sneaky suspicion that you do, get your ass up. Get up and start immediately. I don't care if you watch any more of my videos, nor if you subscribe. I prefer you be getting ready for the remainder of this video and begin taking control again. When faced with a problem, there's several ways to approach it. You can either fix the problem, as in get rid of the problem without really solving it, and that works for some people, but problems, they have a funny way of returning. The second option is that you can solve it. You can solve the problem, and by understanding it and finding the appropriate resolution, you have a choice. You can fix or solve. In other words, one is the treatment, the other one's the cure. If you're going through a divorce, if there's any time, any at all, that your life is going to need some guidance, it's now, because so much shit can go wrong. Remember that Facebook group that I mentioned earlier? Join us. Seriously, join us. Just one thing. Do not bring a victim mentality to the group because it's just frowned upon. And if you're ever going to need guidance, it's now. So call my ass. You can choose therapy, and that's great. But the thing about therapy is, as I talk to guys, is that they focus so much on your past. Many therapists, they listen to you for 45 minutes and what she did to you, and then you leave the session, and all you did was talk. I don't do that. I focus on the right now and your tomorrow, and I find solutions. So if you're serious about hiring a divorce coach, do it today. I just got done with a call from someone that got charges of domestic violence against him. Do you know how bad he wishes he would have called me earlier? Click on the link in the comment section, because right now you need a coach like a man lost in the wilderness needs direction. You just don't want to take that risk. The rest of your life, it depends on it. Thank you very much. Not gonna lie, guys. Today sucks balls. I'm not feeling the workout. We've all been there, right? I just sent a message yesterday about we've all been there. So a technique that I do. First, it's cold. It's in the 50s in California. So I know you Midwesterners are like, you little pussy. Well, this is how I warm up. So basically, you guys can see I got my soccer ball right there. And what I end up doing is just kind of like slowly start warming up, like, you know, just picking up the pace. And I can't do it because I'm recording, but you guys can see that I'm kind of going faster and faster and faster. And that's the way I warm myself up. And actually, it's already starting to do something just, in 0.6 tenths of a mile. So you can see the ball. Where's the ball? Right there. Kicking it around. And, just kind of making sure that I'm warmed up and all that stuff. But I guess my point is, we don't always feel like doing it. I'm fucking hating right now the idea. But actually, just from getting here and doing this, it's not so bad. So let's see how it is and how I get into it later on. But you guys can see, that's how. So it all begins with one step, and that's what I tell you guys. Just one step, just one motherfucking step. All right. So, all right, boys. Talk to you soon. All right. So, did the 2 miles, worked out. I think you guys could know how shitty I was feeling earlier. Don't get me wrong, fucking tired, but I got it over with. The 2 miles, it did resistance, man. It's not right there. Could you see? Yeah. So, your turn, fuckers. Seriously, no excuses, man.